Welcome, everybody, to the Starin Town Hall. How's everybody doing? My name is Chris Neto. I am the Market Development Manager here at Starin. This is the Starin Town Hall. With today, we have a special guest. We have a special guest manufacturer in DTEN. Welcome, guys. How are you? How's everything going? I guess we'll start with you, Tom. You are the main man over there at DTEN, who is our new channel account manager. So please introduce yourself and introduce your team and tell us what's going on.
Great. Thanks, Chris. My name is Tom Shaw. I just took over the Starin relationship for DTEN, and it's a great partner. I've been really getting to know everybody here, and this is my first chance to really see you guys and to work with Starin and presenting this content to you. I'm very excited about what we have to show, as Chris is. And my colleagues today joining me are going to be Eileen Tongur, our head of channel marketing, and Dave Silberstein, our channel rep for the East Coast. And Dave's going to I'm going to kick it over to Dave to kind of talk to you about the warm up, and then he's going to give you a great show on the new products that we're about to announce to you today and that we're going to be showing at ISE. So without further ado, Dave, why don't you take on over?
Thanks, Tom. Hi, everybody. So as everybody probably knows by now, we're certainly partnered with Zoom, and we have been since 2017. And by the way, none of that changes. We're still partnered with Zoom. We're always doing very creative things together. Some of the latest stuff that's coming is something called Intelligent Director. You'll see that come in a couple weeks and months that we're working on. And there are plenty of other things beyond that, of course. All right, so as everybody probably knows, but if you don't, there are certainly DTEN has solutions for the entire office. Everything from, if you look right at the front desk, a virtual receptionist. In this case, we're using our DTEN Me Pro, our 27-inch screen. So somebody can walk in and just hit a button and place a Zoom call to whoever they need to get the appropriate support. We can also use that for wayfinding. An example of the 27 as wayfinding is on the stand to the left. You could also use the 55 onboard for wayfinding. Some of the other spaces, as you look around the room, you can see hot desking over to the left, and using Zoom's workplace reservation, we can certainly run hot desks appropriately. Then we have DTEN Me's and Me Pros in our phone booths and small rooms using inclusive view, where we turn on all three cameras and can see people from up to 160-degree view. Of course, there's D7X on a cart right in the middle there, so we can move it around to open spaces. And then you can even see a dual showing in one of the conference rooms, and it looks like a 75 in the other conference room, just to round out the product line appropriately. So like I said, complete solution. For those that are 100% Zoom, D7s are still available. They're still, now call them D7 for Zoom, built specifically for the Zoom environment. And away you go, 55s, 75s, dual 55s, dual 75s appropriately. D7X series, the newest series in the line. First, it brings us BYOD. So if there's a concern that they're going to have that some other new solution is going to come out in the next couple of years, you can always plug in via USB-C cable and get the camera, microphone, speakers, and touch, which becomes very important, back to your laptop. So just by plugging in your laptop, not only will you see it on both screens, you'll be able to touch it and control it. So you'll have full touchback control of your laptop just by plugging in. And of course, if you wanted to then from your laptop launch some other kind of crazy call, because, who knows, Apple decides they're going to be in the video conferencing world and everybody's got to use their software. Well, then there you go. You've got that option to be able to do that. D10 onboards, certainly designed for huddle rooms and small spaces up to 55-inch on the On series. We have Go with Mates for rooms that already have screens available. The Mates are 10-inch wireless tablet. You can see it as the bottom. We also use it as a room controller and a scheduler. We make a Wi-Fi version and a PoE version appropriately. D10 Me and Me Pro for phone booths, small offices, workplace reservations, all those words that are there. And then the D10 onboard, which is basically becomes our infinite whiteboard, so I can use it as an extended whiteboard with any Zoom room. I also have Miro that I'm putting on it now, and after that we'll probably have Mural on it So for those people that want to collaborate using Miro, they don't even have to have any type of Zoom, Teams, any type of room. You just want to have a collaboration space where you come in and write on a larger board that's bigger than your laptop in a Miro environment. A D10 onboard will do it for you. So for those that don't know, the D7X, this is the next generation of D7s. And indeed, we now have 2 flavors. So now when you order a D7X, you can choose whether you want to order a D7X in Windows or whether you want to order a D7X in Android. Feature sets are designed to be the same so that it makes no difference from an operational point of view, whether you choose a Windows version or an Android version. You want to add extra cameras to the Android version, feel free to do so. You want BYOD on a Windows version, feel free to do so. The idea is the feature set should be compatible and equal. It's just a matter of what is the best unit to be on that particular network for that particular customer as you choose one from the other. And we have them in 55-inch and 75-inch appropriate. What we're really here, or one of the things we're here to talk about today, is the new D7X Dual. So now we have a dual version. The one we're going to show you today is a Windows-based version. We will have an Android version coming later. But right now we have the Windows-based version. It is available for pre-order. I actually just found out we got 14 of them into the United States. So I got 14 of them. If you actually want one, you can order one today. But the real concept for the dual is the concept of people and content. If I go back to my old Tamberg days, if you remember Tamberg, used to always say people and content. But the idea is now I can have content on one screen and I can still see my remote participants, up to 49 of them on the other screen, which is actually pretty appealing for a lot of people. But the important part for us is we've now moved the camera bar to the middle. So the camera is actually dead center in the middle. So when you're sitting at the table, you're looking straight into the lens, no more looking up in the conference room. You're looking straight into the camera lens. We've also put front-firing speakers in there, as well as an 8 microphone array to pick up everybody in the room. So here you go at a glance. You can see 4K camera in the center, 8 microphone array. I will note the camera in the center actually has a physical shutter on it. And when you join a call, the shutter will open. And when you leave the call, the shutter will close. That way, if you just sit down in this room to have a conference, there isn't this lens staring everybody in the eyes, so to speak. It actually does make a real big difference.
This is also a big step for D10. As you know, we've been partnered with Zoom, as Dave kind of talked about in the beginning. So finally, customer demand has really got us to finally certify our products. So right now we are in certification for our D7X 55 Android edition, and that's going to be available late Q1. So just like we have a native experience for Zoom, we will have a native experience for Microsoft Teams once that certification comes through. So what does that mean? With our BYOD device on the D7X, it means you can run pretty much any type of meeting from your PC, but you'll also have the choice to convert that to a Zoom system or a Microsoft Teams system. There will be a reboot required to do those things, just like our competitors that have that same requirement. But it is a huge step for us and opening up a big marketplace for you guys to go sell D10. And I will kick it off to you, Eileen. That was perfect timing.
Welcome, Eileen. Let's reintroduce who you are, and you're part of in your portion of the presentation. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Eileen Tongur. I'm the partner marketing lead here at D10, and I'm excited to announce the launch of our new partner program. Officially, our press release is going to go out next week, so this is kind of a preview to what we're going to be launching globally. But we haven't had a formal partner program up to this point. I think we've had a couple, elements in different programs within D10, but we're kind of formally launching a partner program. So I'm just going to talk a little bit high level. I see that Dave's room is back online, but in the meantime, I'll just kind of talk through what that launch means for us. So it's a global launch later this month. So the end of the week, end of the month. And some of the elements that our partner program includes will be deal registration. We have a partner portal where deals can be registered for additional benefits for new opportunities. We will have on-demand sales training within our portal. So we have a series of videos on different topics, including just kind of a little bit what Dave had alluded to earlier as far as our solutions for the hybrid office, some best use cases, hybrid work, services and support, our alliance partners such as Zoom and Microsoft, and just kind of engaging with D10. So all of that will be available on demand. We will have marketing development funds for joint marketing activities. We are implementing a leveling system, so MDF will only be available to our platinum and gold partners. But we will have some funding available, all proposal based and requires pre-approval. But as far as our leveling, we are adopting the kind of precious metals, platinum, gold, silver, and then we'll have a registered level, which still enables our partners to be able to access some of our training, register deals, but it gives a kind of a distinguishing between some of the levels in different regions. And then in the future, we'll be looking at incentives, any type of channel promotions, spiffs, kind of channel-wide incentive programs as well. We do have I think an EDU and a government discount currently in North America, but we'll be looking at kind of broadening that as we progress through the program and as it evolves.
Thank you, Eileen. Appreciate it.
I have now joined as a panelist, so I've moved up appropriately. And indeed, I'm looking right at you now directly from the camera. I'll push it all the way in so you can see that's as tight as it goes. From sitting at a 6-person table, 8-person table, I'm looking you right in the eye. We're having a conversation. The way I'm configured now, because there is no content, I have all the participants on one screen, and then whatever remote participant spoke last on the other screen is how it's set up.
Awesome.
Right?
And you're roughly what, 20 feet away?
I'm about 12 feet away right now.
Perfect.
So if I zoom all the way out, I'll show you some of the pics for the features that really become important. 8 microphone array for sure. What happens in conference rooms? Some people who present, they like to pace and they start walking around, they even start facing the other direction on you. And to be honest, the D10 in particular is built to keep this audio at the same level, no matter where you are in the room, because everybody needs to be heard at the same level, regardless of if I'm a crazy person and facing the other way and all that kind of stuff that happens in conference rooms. You'll notice this particular room, my house, I love audio. I have it bouncing everywhere. I have a nice hard table, floor, ceiling, glass walls. So this room is really vibrant to start with, and we do a pretty good job of keeping that managed as well. Now, certainly, dual 55s, you're not going to put in a room, 30 feet deep. There's no doubt about it. But if for some reason there is a condition where somebody's farther away than they should be, let's face it, everybody goes and they sit. All the big guys sit in the meeting, and there are 6, 8 other people with their laptops sitting in the corner somewhere. At some point in the meeting, somebody asks a question like, how much did we spend on catering last year? Somebody over here in the corner says $600,000. If you're a remote participant and you don't hear $600,000, you're totally out of the meeting. You have no idea what's going on. So one of the things that we strive for is to make sure everybody in the room is always heard, no matter where they are is the idea.
David, just to let you know, for some reason, the image was frozen and all they saw on the far end was me while I was talking. You were frozen at the head of the table for one, but now we can see you. If you guys can see him, can I get a thumbs up or an okay that everything is now 100%? We heard you perfectly fine because thank you, Skip. Appreciate it. So we heard you perfectly fine. We just weren't tracking you with the camera as you moved around. And I'm sure you were working on your soft shoe routine, which you typically do when you're doing these type of demos. But can you go any further, Dave? Is your neighbor home? Can we check on them?
Yeah. So right now I'm about 28 feet away, sitting on the couch. And it's not designed to go 28 feet away, but if somebody's there, we're going to hear them. And it does a great job of keeping that audio level, no matter where anybody is in the room from one end to the other. And now I'm getting even more exercise. So one of the keys to the whole thing is if I share if I did a call and I share my content, and hopefully I can do that over here, I'll share my screen. I'll bring my screen into the call. Doesn't matter who it is. I just happen to be bringing my screen in.
I see what you did there, Dave, with the food pictures.
You see what I did there?
Yes, I did.
For some reason, it hasn't made it to me yet, but that's okay. Anybody who shares content anywhere, I can come in and start annotating on it, mark it up, any of those kind of things. And then, of course, if I request control, I could actually control that computer and be able to manipulate it at the same time.
Sounds awesome.
And sorry, to answer your question, that's what's going to be for dinner tonight. It's chicken breasts with polenta.
Look, never fails. There is never a Dave Silberstein interview that does not tempt me to go driving up to New York to go sit at dinner with him. You, sir, you got to stop that. I'm trying to watch my figure. That's not something I would like to see anymore. Please keep that to yourself. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. Now I'm hungry, and all I had was a bag of chips. Well, thank you so much. We do have a question, so we're going to get to the questions if you don't mind. So the first question is, not sure if this has been asked or covered because the person joined late. Does DTEN have some BYOD capabilities?
Well, yeah, it certainly does. Oh. Hang on for a second. Try to switch. Hey, Tom, can you pick that up while I switch back to my laptop? Thanks.
You got it. Dave's obviously busy with getting his dual and system back in order, so I'll cover that. So basically, our BYOD is covered by what we call a Smart Connect. Smart Connect is basically a USB-C cable that comes out of the device. We have it on our Mi Pro currently, and all the D7X products will have those as well. And basically what that means is you can plug in your PC and you can then use your PC to drive any meeting. So currently, if you want to do a Teams meeting on a non-Microsoft certified product, you can, because you can do it through that BYOD portal. But you could also do a WebEx meeting. You could do Ring Central. You could do any other type of a platform that you currently use, as long as you're driving that from the PC to the board. So that's kind of our BYOD story. And like I said, all the new products, including the older Mi Pro, have that capability to do that currently.
Sounds great. Awesome. Well, I hope that answered the question. We'll ask the next one that came in from Skip. Skip asks, does the camera in the new PNC unit have any AI capabilities, speaker follow, readjust as people enter, leave, etc.? Are you guys building, that's going to be the hot question going into ISE. Everybody wants to hear about AI, machine learning, and, a chat GPT built in. Come on. It's on the tip of everybody's tongue. What do you got when it comes to the AI capabilities built into the new system?
So yeah, the D7X will write your own paper for you. No,
thank you, Dave. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. So yeah, there's something called auto framing built in that we could turn on. It's not that exciting when there's only one person in the room, but it does frame everybody in the room. It looks for the shape of a person, head and shoulders is the idea. So that person doesn't even have to speak and they'll still be framed into the room. We also use the multi-stream and smart gallery feature, so we can broadcast up to 6 different streams into the call, finding individual faces, again, head and shoulders, the idea, bring them into the call. And then, of course, in the near future, when Intelligent Director is ready, we'll be part of the whole Intelligent Director thing. So in addition to that, if you just wanted to have 4 separate cameras around the room, you can use what's called multi-stream and have up to 4 cameras connected, and all 4 cameras would create their own stream. So camera in the front of the room, camera in the back of the room, etc. If you didn't want to use Smart Gallery where you're cutting people out.
Sounds good. Well, I hope that answers the question. The next question we got came in from Jeff. Jeff asks, what are the drawbacks, if any, of using Android solution versus a Windows solution?
Very good question. And it's really based on the IT department's preference as to what they feel is most important. Some people say, I don't want to manage Windows devices on my network. I would prefer to have Android. Other people say, nope, if it's not Windows and I can't see it and know that it's Windows, then I'm not putting it on my network. Either of those or both of those are perfectly fine choices. If that's not an option or a consideration, there is a price advantage for using an Android product versus a Windows.
All right. It does. I don't see any questions. If you have any questions, please go ahead and drop it into it. Dave, it wouldn't be a D10 interview if I don't pry for some scoop. What do you got coming to me at ISC? What are we going to hear? What are we going to see? I don't want a PowerPoint presentation. Give me the hot stove report.
All right. So as you saw, the D7X Dual 55 will be there for sure. We are going to show a D7X 55 Android running Microsoft Teams. So that's pretty exciting. That's the first place we're officially allowed to show that. And then once we show it there, we'll have it available to remotely show to others until we reach our full certification process, which we're estimating is going to happen in the first part of March.
So
we
just
seem to be on track for that.
For the folks that are listening, what does that certification entail? It's a process, correct? It's not
Correct.
Something you just say, hey, here's our new TV, go ahead and take a look at it. They stamp it, send it back. It's a long process of tests and trial and error and so on and so forth and adjustments.
It is. Microsoft has quite a litany of rigorous tests, and Microsoft runs all those tests as a manufacturer. We're involved when they find something or have a question, but they have to run all those tests. You can't self-certify in Microsoft land. The last part of the process, which is the part of the process that we're in right now, is once they say, yep, it works, we're happy with it, they actually deploy it on their campus and send it to their key customers and make sure that it works in the field the way it's expected before it gets certification. So that's where we are now. We've got a select number that have gone out to customers in the field, as well as Microsoft conference rooms, et cetera, for everybody to start using it and make sure that it works. Once we get through that, we'll officially be certified. By the way, if you want to be, ahead of the game, if you go ahead and place an order for a D7X 55-inch Android, once our certification comes in, we're going to push a firmware update to all those units, and you'll be able to, at the time of boot up, choose whether you want the unit to be a Zoom room or a Teams room appropriately.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
And there is one more thing that we're going to sneak in for you.
Okay.
We have 2 new sets of cameras. We call them the View cameras. They're USB cameras, and they attach to the side of any monitor. Could be a D7, could be a D7X. And the idea is they're at eye level, and they're aimed specifically to cut across and pick up people's faces on the opposite side of the table. So there'll be 2 versions. The first version will be what we call the View, and the View will have 2 cameras, 1 on each side, aimed across to pick up a table of basically 8 people, 3 on each side and a couple at the end. And then the View Pro will have 2 cameras on each one of those assemblies. And those 2 cameras will be aimed, so the first camera picks up the first set, and the second camera is aimed for long range. So if you've got a room that's 30 feet deep, it can pick everybody up down both sides of the table. And then, of course, if you're using a dual, you've got the camera in the center and getting the people in the center.
Cool, man. Well, I thank you for spilling the beans. That's it, guys. You don't have to go to the D10 booth now. Dave is... I got you, Dave. That was the whole point, right?
Got it.
I'm kidding. We do have other questions. First question, that, by the way, there was a comment that was made. Yes, that's a D10 over my shoulder to the right over there. That is me playing with the D10 Me Pro. The D10 Me Pro is set up as a reception kind of setup right there, and that encompassing surround is something that I picked up. It's called the Leon Cove, and that is actually for some soundproofing and light up stuff that I'm testing out. So yes, folks, that's the D10 Me Pro over my shoulder to the right. If you're, for the people that have sent me that message in the chat. The other thing that I have here is another question that came in from Jeff. Jeff asks if the D7 will only be available in an Android version. Correct. Wow, I read that wrong. Phrasing, Chris. The D7 will only be available in an Android version. Correct. Will there eventually be a Windows version?
So we actually launched the Windows version first, and the Androids are coming. And this is the D7X, just so you know. So if we're talking D7X, I know he only put D7 in the question, but we're talking D7X. It comes first in the Windows edition. That one is in stock at Starin today. The Androids are in transit. So I think you have the 55s in stock now. You will have the 75s shortly. So you'll have all that stuff ready, and you can make your choices at that point, which version you want.
Because we also read minds, I can tell you that Starin has a lot of D755 Windows and D775s in stock. Android edition and both sides are on their way to us now. That's right off from the line coming our way. Thank you, Kathy, for giving us that update. So yes, Kathy foresaw that question was coming, had it ready. We do have plenty of D755 Windows, and the 75s they're both in stock. Like I said, the Androids will be here soon. Another question in this one comes from Jeff again. Jeff's handing a lot of questions. Love to see that. Thank you so much, Jeff. Jeff asks, when using that Microsoft Teams, will there be a full mute sync functionality with the microphone? Do we need a little bit more explanation as what a full mute sync is?
Yeah, what is a full mute sync?
I don't know. This is a term I'm not familiar with. But Jeff, if you go ahead and add that to the bottom of the Q&A, what full mute sync is, we will gladly answer that. I'll jump to his next question and get back to that. Does Dave Silverstein miss me being able to blurt out questions live? So obviously Jeff wants to give you a hard time, and yes, I'm sure Dave misses.
I do miss people not being able to blurt out questions.
Thank you, Jeff. And full mute, please let us know down below and we will answer that. I got a question in from Mike. Mike asks if the D10 Mate as Teams scheduling panel, ? Can the D10 Mate be used as a Teams scheduling panel?
Yeah, the answer is we will have a solution with the Mate that pairs with Teams once it gets through its certification process.
So once it goes through, the D10 Mate can be used as a scheduling panel.
Correct. Right.
Okay, cool. So
And
it's coming.
The PoE, right. The PoE version is going to go first, and then the Wi-Fi version will arrive sometime later.
Mike, I hope that answers the question. Should be cool there. Still waiting on Jeff. Another question that came in. We do have about 355-inch D7s in stock, furthering how much stock we brought in and have ready for you guys. So if you guys are liking what you see, we will not hesitate to ship it out immediately because we do have it in the warehouse. So do not sleep on the fact that we do have. You notice this is the only webinar I've not started off with. Well, tell us about your parts of the supply chain issue. I knew this. I didn't need a cue. Thank you so much. Anonymous Starin person who sent me that they just went into the warehouse and counted how many are in there. That's great. I love that. All right. So Jeff's answer, furthering his question, when you push a mic mute on the Teams application, will the mic on the device mute and prove indication that it's muted?
Yes. Yep. You'll get the slash through the microphone as it normally does.
So you're looking for almost like that feedback, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. I hope that answers the question, Jeff. And thank you so much for clarifying that. It took a little bit, but I kind of figured that's where he was going with it. It sounded like it was a programming thing from back in the day. You press mute. Is it mute with the cross? Is it red? Is it green? Dave, we can have a whole conversation about, does an icon turn red or green? Does that mean mute mean red, mute green mean go? All right, here's another question. Wow, they're coming in. Here they come. Another question in from Jeff. Are D10 products TAA certified? If not, I'm going to ask, is that something that we can look forward to?
We are not TAA certified, and as of right now, it's not something we can look forward to.
Okay. Well, thank you. At least you were honest. Appreciate that.
Anybody who needs TAA or has questions about TAA, Jeff, you can reach out to me and we can talk about it. But so far we haven't found a need to get TAA. The price of our products are so low, they're not considered when they look for TAA numbers.
Okay. So I got a question that came in from Boris. Boris is asking, will Mate be capable with third-party room scheduling software, i.e. Robin or TEM, Team, etc.?
No, unfortunately not. The Mate right now only works as a Zoom room controller or a Zoom room scheduler. So you could use the Mate as a controller on a Microsoft Tap, on a Poly. You could have Mates as schedulers outside of a room that was a Poly Zoom room or a Logi Zoom room or a Neat Zoom room. It doesn't really matter, but it's only going to run within the Zoom environment.
Let's get your final word. What is the final? What do we need to know? It is January 26th. You guys are about ready to take off and go to ISE. It is the start of a new year. What is it, Dave, that you want to leave with our folks? What's a good message to leave for everybody?
Well, Chris, at first I'd like to at least introduce our sales team. You know, Dave handles our channel partners on the East. For those of you who may have joined us from the Central, we have Tony Crenshaw that covers the Central partners for us, and Tim Ashlock covering our channel partners in the West. You can also see the associated field sellers that we have ready to engage with your customers. So if you have customers in those locations, I'm happy to introduce you or get you introduced to Tony, Tim, and Dave. And that way you can engage with our field and get introduced and get your customers introduced to our field reps so they can experience maybe a live demo, a virtual demo of our products and get to know your D10 products a little bit better.
Or one of my favorite things is through our field sales team, we offer a try and buy program where you actually can bring one into your office or space and try it out for 30 or 60 days. And I think that's a pretty unique option, and everybody should be looking to take advantage of it if they have any questions about them at all.
If you guys want to do that, please just contact your Starin rep. We'll be able to assist with that. We have the try to buy as well that could assist with your future D10 purchases. So go ahead. Sorry, just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great service that you guys offer. So key takeaways, really, we talked about our new partner program. It's very exciting for us. It's very exciting for Starin. We're going to be able to sign up, hopefully, some new partners. Hopefully, some of you guys are out there are new partners and are learning D10 for the first time. If not, you'll know that you'll be in a new a silver, gold, or platinum level coming up soon when we launch it next week. And then we have the solutions for all the hybrid environment. Dave covered all the products. You asked lots of questions, so I'm not going to cover that too much, but we have it. It's going to work for teams coming up very soon, in maybe 2 months or so, early 2 months. And again, we have a channel webinar coming up tomorrow. And if you haven't joined that, we'll send out a link to these guys so they can get it out to you, and you can join our channel webinar and learn even more about D10. But really, we really want you to come see us live. If you can come to our ISE booth, if you're in that area in Europe, please come and see us. We're at 2R350. And as we've hit it on the head with many folks telling you how much Starin has in stock, we are not impacted by shortages. So we do have everything in stock. If it's new product, it's on its way. And if it's existing products, it's ready to ship. So it's a key takeaway that I want you all to remember. And then again, thank you. My name's Tom. Again, I'm your D10 distribution account manager for Starin. And I thank you very much for attending. It's been a great show, and I hope you learned a lot about D10 today.
Yeah. Thank you all for coming by, but we can't close it out without giving away a prize. And according to Mark, our producer, who spun the random numerator, whatever you call that thing is, the wheel of fortune. According to Mark, who sent this in, the winner of the D10 prize is Jeff Silweski. And I apologize if I messed up your last name, sir. But Jeff, you are the winner of the prize. Producer Mark will be in touch to get your information, to go ahead and send you your D10 prize when you get it. Thank you so much for coming by. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys taking time to come by, hang out with us. This was a great conversation starter, especially because we are so close to our first big trade show of the year happening overseas. And I know that there's a lot of news that's going to be coming out, not only from D10, but all of our Starin partners that are out there going to be showing some stuff. So stick around, not only with Starin, and obviously D10 will be making a lot of announcements and showing pictures and stuff that's coming out if you are not at the show. We look forward to getting your feedback. We want to know what you guys are like, what you guys like from the show. Let me know what you guys see out there. Even if it's remote, I want to be able to go and take a look at it for you, because I will be there. On behalf of the Starin team, I would like to thank everybody for coming. Hope you guys have a great year, because this is still January. We forget. It feels like it's already 6 months in, and we've only been in here, God, what, 20 days? Not even 20 something days. I don't even know what day it is. This is what happens when you work kind of from home, in the same place, in the same environment. But I will be back on the road very shortly and getting to see a lot of folks again. So I look forward to that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again, once again, for joining it. This has been the Starin Town Hall for January 2023.